Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something I think, well, pretty much everyone grapples with, right? That constant struggle to build good habits, maybe let go of some bad ones, and find a little bit of inner calm in what feels like a pretty chaotic world. How do we make sure all that effort we put in actually, goes somewhere useful, not just leave us spinning our wheels? So today we're going deep into this really ancient framework. But it's incredibly practical, actually. It's all about mental and ethical cultivation. Our source material is from the Gaṅgāpeyyālo, text bits of it anyway, which lays out this really systematic approach. It's called Sammappadhānā, or the Four Right Exertions. And our mission really is to unpack these ideas. We'll look at some of the really vivid analogies they use to explain them and just try to understand how they offer this timeless roadmap for, well, intentional self-development. Think of it like a strategy, a clear one, for directing your own inner energy, like a river flowing to the sea. Okay, so if we're trying to direct our inner river, as you said, where does this ancient roadmap actually start? It kicks off with these things called the Four Right Exertions. Sounds almost like a mental workout plan. What exactly are they?
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. And what's really striking is how precise they are. It's not just vague effort. There are four specific kinds of effort focused on our mental states. They kind of create this powerful cycle. So the first one is all about proactive prevention. It's the exertion to stop bad, unskillful states, things like anger, negativity from even arising in the first place.
Ah, okay. Like heading it off at the path.
Exactly. Shutting the door before the negativity gets in. Then second, there's the effort to, well, abandon those unskillful states that have already popped up.
Right. The ones that snuck in.
Yeah. This is about letting go, releasing what's already taken root in the mind. Third, we switch gears a bit. It's about cultivation. This is the exertion to actively arouse wholesome, skillful states like mindfulness, compassion states that maybe aren't there yet. So actively planting good seeds.
Okay, so prevent the bad, ditch the bad that's there, and bring in the good. What's the fourth?
The fourth is about keeping the good stuff going. It's the exertion to maintain, prevent the disappearance of, increase, develop, and really bring to perfection those wholesome states that are already present.
Nurturing them.
Exactly. Nourishing and perfecting the positive things already within us. It's a full cycle. Prevent, abandon, cultivate, maintain.
And the text gives us that really great image right away, doesn't it? The Ganges River. It says, just as the Ganges River inclines, slopes, and flows eastward. That's such a strong, visual, natural, inevitable movement. What's the deeper point they're making with that?
Well, it's more than just poetry, that analogy. It's incredibly powerful. Just like the Ganges is, inevitably drawn eastward to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Practicing these four exertions makes a person, and this is the text's language, inclined, tending, and leading towards Nibbāna, towards liberation.
Ah, so it's suggesting the result is inevitable if you practice.
That's the implication. It's not just about random effort, like you said, it's spinning your wheels. It's about directed effort. Effort applied in this specific fourfold way creates a kind of inner momentum, a flow that naturally carries you towards that goal of liberation. It's a system designed to lead somewhere specific.
Okay, that distinction is really important. Directed effort, not just trying harder. But, anyone who's actually tried to change a habit knows it's not always just about knowing what to do. Sometimes you feel like you need a solid base to work from. Does the text talk about that? A foundation.
It does, absolutely. And this brings us to something crucial, a prerequisite, really. The essential groundwork is what's called sila. It generally translates to virtue or morality, ethical conduct.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And the source uses another really strong analogy here. It says something like, just as all strong actions are done relying on the earth, established on the earth, you need solid ground to do anything powerful.
Right, you can't build a house in midair.
Exactly, and it continues. So too, a practitioner develops the four right exertions relying on and established in sila.
Wow, so that connection to earth, to solid ground is fundamental. Is the idea then that without this sila, this ethical foundation, any effort you put into those four exertions might be shaky, less effective?
That's precisely the idea. Without that ethical stability, your mental efforts, no matter how sincere, might lack grounding. It's like trying to, build that skyscraper on shifting sand, like you hinted at.
Yeah.
So sila isn't just about following a list of rules. It's about creating a stable, calm, clear, ethical space within yourself. And it's from that space that truly effective, sustainable mental cultivation, these four exertions, can actually emerge and have power. It provides the necessary stability.
Okay, so we've got the stable ground of sila, and we're directing our energy using the four exertions. But what are we directing it towards? Or maybe what are we directing it against? What specific inner challenges or, targets does the text highlight?
That's a great question. The text points to specific things these exertions help us understand more deeply, or abhiññāya, as the term goes. One key area is asana.
Asana.
Yes, asana. It means searches or maybe cravings, pursuits, the things we're constantly looking for. The source actually details 3 specific types that are really central to our experience. There's kamasana, that's the search for sensual pleasures. Pretty straightforward, I think. Then there's pavasana, the search for existence or becoming, wanting to be something to continue to achieve.
The search for becoming. That sounds deep. What's the third?
The third is brahmacāryasana, which is often translated as the search for the holy life, or maybe the search for spiritual meaning or transcendence itself.
Okay. Sensuality, becoming, and the holy life. Those cover a lot of ground. So how does recognizing something like pavasana, that search for becoming, actually help us apply these exertions more effectively? It feels like it goes way beyond just, wanting a promotion or something.
Oh, it absolutely does. Understanding Havasana isn't just about wanting things. It's recognizing that really fundamental human drive to be somebody, to achieve, to constantly seek a certain status or identity, maybe even certain states of being or experience.
Right, like constantly needing to prove yourself or chasing the next big thing.
Exactly, or even getting attached to spiritual progress itself as a form of becoming something better. If you're constantly striving for validation or chasing a new identity or even clinging to meditative states without understanding that underlying drive, that pavasana, well, your efforts might be subtly misdirected.
Ah, I see.
So by understanding these deep-rooted searches, kamasana, pavasana, brahmacāryasana, you're not just vaguely trying to be good or calm. You're applying the 4 exertions, preventing, abandoning, cultivating, maintaining, to the specific motivations that are actually driving your thoughts and actions. It allows for smarter, more targeted effort. You see the underlying current.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we're targeting these searches. But beyond those, what about the really stubborn stuff? Those deeper, more maybe entrenched obstacles. Sometimes it feels like there are these really sticky patterns in the mind that just won't budge.
Yes, the texts definitely address those too. There's a broader concept called oga, often translated as floods, like powerful currents of defilement that can just sweep us away. Things like sensual desire, aversion, ignorance in a broader sense.
Floods, okay. That's a strong image too.
It is. And then the specific text we're drawing from zooms in on a particular set of these deeper obstacles. They're called the Uddhamaggyāni Sayojanani. It's a mouthful, but it means the 5 higher fetters.
Higher fetters, meaning they're more subtle or harder to break.
Generally, yes. They're considered more subtle and often among the last to be fully overcome on the path to liberation. And the text explicitly states that the 4 Right Exertions are developed specifically for abandoning pahanaya, these 5.
Okay, so what are they? What are these 5 higher fetters?
Right, so the 5 are, first, ruparogo, that's craving for fine material existence. Think of attachment to the very pleasant, refined states you might get in deep meditation, or even just attachment to subtle forms of beauty or comfort. Second is uparogo, craving for immaterial existence, even more subtle. This is like attachment to formless states, maybe purely mental or spiritual experiences, but still clinging to being in that state.
Interesting distinction. Okay, what else?
Third is manono, which is usually translated as conceit. But it's not just crude arrogance. It's that subtle, pervasive habit of comparing yourself to others, feeling superior, inferior, or even just equal in a way that reinforces the sense of self. It's very ingrained.
Yeah, I can see how that would be subtle and tricky.
Very. Fourth is uddhaka, restlessness or agitation. Not just physical fidgeting, but that subtle mental scattering, the inability of the mind to really settle, even at quite deep levels. And fifth, finally, is avijja, ignorance. This is the big one, really. The fundamental lack of clear seeing, the misunderstanding of the true nature of reality, particularly concerning the self and suffering. It's seen as the root that nourishes the other fetters.
Ruparago, aruparago, mano, uddhaka, avijja. Craving for material form, immaterial form, conceit, restlessness, ignorance.
Wow.
So this framework, these 4 exertions, they aren't just about general self-improvement then. It's really a highly targeted strategy, almost surgical, you could say.
That's a good way to think about it.
It gives you a map to identify these specific powerful hindrances, the searches, the floods, these deep fetters, and then consciously apply the right kind of effort to systematically dismantle them. The goal seems to be genuine inner freedom.
Precisely. It's a very proactive and methodical approach to cultivating the mind. And underpinning all of this, woven through the practice of all four exertions, is another quality the texts emphasize, which comes up in a related chapter called the Appamatavāgo. It's appamata.
Appamata. What does that mean?
It means heedfulness, diligence, vigilance, conscientiousness. The source doesn't detail it extensively right here in the sections we have, but its presence implies that successfully using the Four Right Exertions isn't a one-off thing.
Ah, right. Not a quick fix.
No. It requires this continuous quality of appamata, constant mindful attention and diligence in your practice. It's the energy that keeps the whole process going.
And that really connects it back to, anyone listening and their own journey. Because real change, real mastery, it isn't usually about these huge dramatic leaps, is it?
Rarely.
It's more about that consistent, mindful, maybe sometimes unglamorous day-to-day effort. So this deep dive hopefully gives you the tools, the understanding for that ongoing diligence, that appamata. Okay, so let's try and bring this all together then. We've got these four right exertions.
Prevent, abandon, cultivate, maintain.
Right. And they're grounded firmly on that foundation of sila, ethical conduct. Together, they offer this really clear, systematic way to manage our inner world. It's about consciously stopping the unhelpful stuff from starting, dealing with it when it does, actively bringing in the good stuff, and then nurturing it. And doing all that with a strategic eye on those deep-seated drives, the isana, or searches, and those really stubborn obstacles, the oga and the sayujanani, those fetters.
That sums it up well.
And what's amazing is that this wisdom, which is ancient, feels so relevant now, maybe especially now, in this age of constant distraction and information overload. It gives anyone seeking, more clarity, maybe more self-control, a more purposeful direction in life. It gives them a practical guide.
A method, really.
A method for cultivating mental habits that actually lead somewhere, towards lasting well-being, not just temporary fixes. So thinking about that powerful image again, the Ganges River flowing inevitably towards the ocean. Here's a final thought for you to take away. What's just one right exertion? Maybe preventing one specific negative thought, or cultivating one small positive intention that you could consciously apply in your own life, starting today, to help direct your inner flow towards your ocean, towards your deepest aspirations and well-being. Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive, and we'll catch you next time.